So a dentist goes to a party and meets this drunk guy. And the drunk guy says, I heard that you're a dentist and that you use those drilly things. And you also use those brushy things. Well, let me tell you, I've been cleaning my teeth for 37 years. And brushes are really nice. They're like a massage. And they make your mouth taste really nice. But drills, I've heard terrible things about drills. Why would you use drills? That's ridiculous. Let me tell you another story. I got a comment the other day, and it reminded me of a conversation I had at a party about a month ago. So this guy comes up to me, and he says, I heard that you like to smoke Salvia Divinorum. This stuff is terrible. Why would you ever do that? Why don't you use DMT? DMT is the elixir of the angels. For the psychonaut, DMT and salvia are like a drill and a brush for a dentist. They don't do the same thing. They're both tools in your toolkit. Hopefully, you've got a bunch of tools in your toolkit for helping you live your life, developing your mental and spiritual life, and having a fun life with lots of inward adventure. I find that salvia it's the drill, kind of. Not to say it's inherently painful, but it goes deep because it's a dissociative, and so it goes sort of, even at lower doses, it goes kind of underneath the ego, and the world kind of, your understanding of the world falls apart, and from there you can sort of mold your reality even on lower doses. DMT is lighter, it's more fun, and it's a lot more hallucination oriented, so it's more visionary, and you're going to have more, like, especially at higher doses, you may have meet entities or see lots of rainbows and unicorns and stuff. It's really cool, and I do like DMT. I'm not saying I don't like DMT. Just like the dentist probably doesn't mind toothbrushes. So that's my answer to that question. If you feel like answering any question or asking any questions in my videos, please do so, because it gives me material to talk about anyway, and it's great. That having been said, why don't we pull out our dental screwdriver drill? Like usual, just a little bit, but more than yesterday. Yep, I saw a little bit of smoke. Usually I don't even see any. And of course, if that's not enough, you just smoke more. I can already feel it. It's been 20 seconds. You'll feel the full effects of salvia within 60 seconds. So if you still don't feel it, you just load another small bowl. It's a little tingly, head spinny. Today I'm going to try to concentrate on this idea of psychic surgery through salvia. But we'll see if we'll see if I actually do that. Lift yourself up. I can feel myself almost pulling away upward. I'm not being pulled by an outside force. It's more like I'm choosing to pull. I don't usually feel that. On the inside, I'm almost lifting up out of my body, headed skyward. And outward, beyond my body, becoming bigger. Spreading across my conscious field. And this is a different meditation than I usually do. It doesn't have anything to do with the psychic surgery I was going to do. But this just happened. I feel this joyful energy lifting up out of the top of my body, spreading across the sky, and then dripping down the sides of my experience. Kind of quality. You can feel a buzzy, playful, bumblebee feeling, energy starting in your body, pushing up out of your head into the sky, and then raining back down, raining down across the conscious field. I make it as light as I can. It's got a silvery tint, a bluish tint. Filling my world. I always like to use the term conscious field, because what I mean by conscious field is the entirety of my experience, which is the entirety of the world. So I could say filling the world with this light, playful bumblebee energy. But I generally choose to say conscious field because if I say the world, it implies that I'm projecting, metaphysically projecting out into an external field that exists beyond me. That's the implications of the term. If I say the universe or the cosmos or the world, it's the implied metaphysics has an external quality. Whereas if I say conscious field, the implied metaphysics is highly subjective. Even though we're really talking about the same thing. can fill the world with this light, playful bumblebee energy. See, that time I decided to say world. I'm tricky, huh? Now, the point where it becomes magical is where it actually affects your experience. See, as long as I say it's all subjective, it's just psychological and doesn't really mean anything. You might feel good, but it doesn't do anything. But if you do this kind of, oh, I guess I am doing psychic surgery. If you do this kind of psychic surgery on the conscious field, on your experience, and then it actually works and it affects your experience, once you're sober, once you're in a normal frame of mind, you'll think of it as externalized, because that's the metaphysics of the non-meditative space. So and then if you were to say, wow, the world is so nice and bumblebee today, isn't that really cool? Later on in the day, when you're in a normal state of mind, and then if you're like, wait a minute, I wonder if it's because of what I did when I meditated, you're going to call that magic, right? That's what magic is. It's at least that's how I see it, is when you're in a meditative state, basically, where you're where you're identifying with the entire conscious field. You make emotional or whatever shifts, spiritual shifts, if you want to call it that, throughout the conscious field, not just inside the body. And then later on, it actually does something and affects your life that looks like magic, because it's doing something. And I hope I'm explaining that okay. If not, well, you didn't pay for the video anyway. You get what you're paid for, buddy. You want better philosophy? Go pay tuition at your local university. So give your life a playful quality, a light quality, creativity, hot pink. And then as you come out, you wiggle your fingers playfully. And then see what kind of day you have. You'll probably find that it starts out nice and playful, and hopefully through the power of magic, it has an effect on your life. But it certainly will, at least in the beginning, right? Until something lame happens. But this is a tool that we can use to interject our lives with whatever energy we need that day. I had kind of a rough day yesterday. I made this video, right? The second in this series. And then in the editing process, it was a really heavy, a big file, and it messed up getting on YouTube over and over again. And then I got all cranky because of fighting with technology, which is rather ironic. I'm putting on a video about meditation and stuff, and I'm all pissed off. I hate it when my life has that kind of contradiction in it. But whatever, that's how it goes.